guys, it is Reyna, your virtual big sister. I'm back, looking like a mess. I seriously am going to tell you something right now. I have been extremely busy. But this video has to go out today for a lot of people who need help with personal statements. So ignore this and we're just going to keep it going. Okay, so the PDF is going to be linked down below so you can print it out. I suggest you print it out first before continue on the video so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. I made the whole template just for you. It's all personalized, so use it, craft it to the best of your ability, and let's get started. Okay, so the personal statement is required by most law schools as part of the application process. So be sure to review the application's instructions to each school as they may have a different prompt. This is very true. Every school has a completely different prompt. It really depends. Some people have, it just depends, honestly, in my opinion. I think that most schools are kind of the same in general, but there are some like yes and no's and differences. So just don't freak out if like you and your friend are going to like 2 different law schools and all of a sudden like they have a different one than you do. It's not a big deal. It's not an issue, but just know that there are different things. Okay. The actual baseline of things, make sure you do 2 pages is like a good range for things. I honestly would not go past like 2.5, 3. Like if you're passing 2.5, 3, it's like you put too many like nitty gritty details and you didn't put enough of the big details. That could have been a why that you probably might have went over. So just, you want to put details, but you don't want to put too many, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So enough details, not too many. Okay. 12-point font, no less than 1-point margins. Carefully review all the instructions for each school as they're different. Okay. It is the most important part of the writing sample for you. Lawyers are professional writers. I say it everywhere. Practice writing, practice writing, practice writing. So you must demonstrate the ability to be able to write and to get this out of your application process, because this part of your application process can be a do or fail situation. Like this, if you're a really good writer, it can honestly push you over the edge. And then if you're like not so great, then you might want to work on your LSATs a billion times more. Like, I know what I'm telling you. So if you haven't watched my LSAT video, it's kind of my last video. Not really. I'm gonna redo it. So all right, now we're talking about the second part. How do you get started? Where do you start? But I want to talk about the mindset portion of it first before I go into like the specifics on what's on the document. So if you're following along, like just wait a second. Okay, I want to talk about this. If you are seriously in a state where you're like, I'm scared to even start writing, write. Just know that you're going to go through 5, 6, 7 drafts before like you're at that point of like, okay, it's good. It's good. Don't judge yourself and don't be so harsh and don't be your biggest critic because of the fact that you just simply think that, okay, well, I've gone through like 18 different drafts, like, and I still feel like they're not good enough. Make sure you get other people's opinions as well. Like, try your best to get somebody else. Like me, I'll be more than happy to read it. But so just think about those things. Like, don't automatically go in thinking like, I am not prepared, I'm about to mess this up. Your mindset has to be right, as in like, I'm strong enough. It is what it is. And if I write it 15 times, it's fine. Trust me. I think I wrote mine like 5, but I mean, it's okay. All right. Questions. Ask yourself why you want to go to law school and why you want to practice law. Like, what is your biggest purpose for this? And I really hope all of y'all don't say money, because I'm serious. Like, put something that's really big, something that's really meaningful. Put something that like you truly are like, okay, this is it. This is something that's gonna like make them feel heartfelt about it and stuff like that. So like for me, it was like nonprofit work and like wanting to impact and wanting to make a change and wanting to do that. But it wasn't the like cliche wanting to make a change type of thing. It was more of like a serious, like, I want to make impacts in the world. Okay, that's your first questions. Inform yourself about the law school to which you are applying to and ask yourself, why you were specifically interested in these specific law schools and how you can contribute to them. When you're applying to law school, this is my personal advice, so take it as you please. They want people who are gonna make them look good. So if your application process, or this is not like, you're not impacting in some way, it's kind of just like not the actual, I wouldn't say like it's not gonna make you able to go to this school. It's just simply like you have to seriously just word things a little bit better. Like if you want to do immigration law or something like that, like, but why do you want to do it? Like, what is the purpose, passion, and power behind it? If you want to do criminal law, like, what is the purpose, passion, and power behind it? Like, what are those things that like you seriously really want to work for? All right. Okay. So just read into the schools you want to apply to, do that. Read through personal statement samples and ask yourself how you can stand out from them. Try to look for people as samples that are in your school, because most of the time they're floating around. I mean, you can find them pretty much anywhere. I'm not saying that it's like a requirement to like follow somebody step by step, but it helps. It gives you like a direction of things, because one school might be a little bit like their set standards might be a little bit different than another school's set standards. Like New England law versus Harvard is like way different. Like the standards are set completely different. Okay. Personal statements. To be personal, obviously, because they're personal statements, but to use your experiences in your own life and to alter them and to tailor them into a reflection is something that I recommend. Don't tailor it as in like, this happened to me when I was younger and this is how I felt about it. Like, what did they want to know? What you learned? What was it that happened? Like, they want to know the what happened, how you learned, the impact, and then the like execution of it all. So like, it's just like simple, like step by step. They don't want to know like, oh, this and this happened. Oh, and then this and this happened off of that. Like, it's like, okay, when I was younger, I had a hard childhood. You know, I was in the foster care system. Okay, but how did that impact you? What did you do? How did you execute? And now, how are you at this point? It's all about the execution stages of things. They don't want all the like baby details, because those just don't help. They really don't. Because then it just kind of like makes them read longer, makes them drag on longer, it makes them like lose that connection to you, and that's just not something you want. Okay. Do not summarize on your resume or reiterate information available from the other part of your application. They don't want to know the same thing like 5 times, if that makes sense. So pretty much just don't like try to say it in a different way, try to use a different impact, try to do something a little bit differently, because they really don't want they just don't want to hear it 5 different times. They want to hear it once on your personal statement where they felt it and they're like, oh, I feel it. I'm in those positions with you. Like, I understand how you feel, and then kind of just keep it going. Okay. A strong introduction and conclusion are essential. That is very true. I recommend, if you are not good at coming up with hooks, if you're not good at coming up with like rebuttal type of things, if you're not good at coming up with intros, try your best to find somebody who has a serious English major who can help you with those things, because the setup, you want to make sure that your setup is better than anything you've ever written in your entire life. It's your setup, the information, and then the feeling behind it. You want to make sure that they feel. Okay. So, maintain a positive tone, and maintain a positive tone even when you have weaknesses. And that is very true. So like what I said earlier about the whole like adoption thing and like all that, you know, it might sound bad. Like if you had like a bad story before that, you know what I mean? It might sound bad, but it's not supposed to be bad. Like, they want to hear the good out of it. They want to hear it. They want to maintain the positive aspect of things. All right. Expect you'll go through a few drafts, which I've already said. You might go through many of drafts, so don't get scared to edit. Puncture, grammar, all that, make sure you have somebody look it over. Okay, now, I suggest getting an editor help you out. If you have a really good friend who's good in English, do that too. Okay, here are your do's, here are your don'ts. Please listen to what I am about to say because I am so serious about this. The don't. Do not take things too personally because it says personal essay. What I mean by this is it's personal enough to understand, but it's not, there's not an extreme amount of emotions. Like if it's to the point where it's like making you cry and it's starting to make you feel some type of way, then you might want to rethink about it just because they want to feel, but you do not need them to be like sobbing because then that's kind of like, it was like a full sob story. They don't want that. Okay. Do not let them picture you as a child. So what this means is not like your childhood. This means more about like picturing you as a child. Like you have not grown up just yet. You're not willing to help other people. You're not willing to impact someone else. It's the willingness, and they want to make sure that like you're an adult. They want to make sure that you are strong. They want to make sure that you have all of the characteristics as an adult, that you are taking this completely seriously. They don't want to picture you as a child. Don't brag at all. I'm pretty sure you knew that, but don't brag. Okay, but do this. Details, details, and details. Make sure there's enough details, but not the nitty-gritty details. Be interesting. Pick and choose. You can't write everything, so pick the good stories that you're like, I know will make an impact. Okay, go through a lot of drafts. We talked about that. Get others to proofread for you. You proofread for yourself. I do recommend using Grammarly. If you don't have it already, Grammarly is going to be the best thing for you. It's kind of pricey, that I'm not going to lie about, but it's very good. So get Grammarly, and then it helps you with like plagiarism. It helps you with like making sure words are right, sentences are good. And then I recommend doing Grammarly first and then getting an editor after that. Or you can get an editor first and then do that. Is an editor required? No, they're not, but I do recommend them a lot because it helps so much. Like it helps, especially somebody who specializes in law school personal statements. There are so many people. If you go on Upwork, there are a lot of people who will help you. Or you can also go to like your school, your undergrad, or you can just simply ask somebody who you know. And that is honestly all the stuff that you needed to know for that. And I hope that helped everybody out. Next time, we're talking about LSATs, I think. I don't know what we're talking about next time, but I had an amazing time with you. I have to get this video out because everybody seriously needed it. So we are here. We got it. Make sure you print it down below, and make sure you check out all of the links down below as well because they have all of the LSATs study material that I used. So if you need that, make sure you go down below and then print this out as well. So I hope this helped everybody, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.